welcome to the show. Great guest today. Let's get right into it. It's Thursday, so you know who's here. Mr. Ian Fidance. Oh, my God. If you don't take that whistle with you after, because you just found that in the studio, but that needs to be a permanent part of your wardrobe.
It's so perfect because I wear it well.
Dude, I'm not even joking you. That needs to be a part of your thing. Like, you know how you always have cigarettes and a book?
Uh-huh.
Like, you have so many pockets. That can be, yeah.
I'm going to take it with me.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Steal it from Sirius. It's been in the studio, like, for weeks now.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just like my stevia packets I leave floating around.
Are those the one I got you?
Yeah, no. You did get me stevia for my birthday one year.
Of stevia.
Yeah, you got me a bulk package of stevia for my birthday one year. And I kind of was like, I don't really need this. I can get my own stevia. Boy, did I need that. Do you know how many times that came in handy?
I thought you were going to say how many times you came.
You know, that's really helpful for me to know when to laugh, because sometimes your jokes, right over my head.
Well,
And sometimes you're just too quick for me, and sometimes it's just not funny. No one is more consistent with making me laugh than old Ian Fidance, but he's going to be tested today because we got hilarious people in the studio, both guests who have their debut on the show. I'm so excited to have them. Let's bring in, I know this guy from years ago. He was on my show, Nikki and Sarah Live, as a correspondent, and he was probably one of the only guest stars we had on Nikki and Sarah Live that was like a comedian. We weren't very generous to the comedy community, but we were.
I was
not
blessed.
no intention, but you were just someone who killed it for us. Nore Davis, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Nikki.
It's so exciting, Nore.
Back
you
in your
have
TRL days, you was killing it.
Oh yeah, back we were up in that TRL studio. That
Yep.
was it. You look great. You haven't it's been so long since I've sat down and seen you. We worked together at the Stress Factory years ago.
Oh wow,
Remember that?
You remember that? Yes, I do.
Yes, of course I remember that. That was fun.
We were dreading that in the green room.
I was dreading what?
No, we were dreading.
Oh,
like
we
going
were
out.
Okay, good. I was like, you weren't dreading that?
No.
Come on, man. It's
No.
the Stress Factory.
Yes,
You're
it
performing
is.
on stage with a payphone, which isn't a thing anymore.
He's I don't know. That could be up for debate.
What? A payphone?
Yeah, sometimes he does hook that bitch up.
Oh, he does?
Sometimes.
And you can call people. You can call out
a little bit. Yeah.
from the Stress Factory. I didn't
That's
know
what
that.
I'm hearing.
That's a Oh, that would be cool. That would be a fun added benefit to working there, which is one of the few.
Yeah.
No, I actually like the Stress Factory, and I'll be back there when my career takes a turn for the worse. I'll definitely be begging him to go back there. But Nore Davis, very exciting. You have a Comedy Central half hour coming out tomorrow, November 8th.
Yeah.
Is this your first special? Have you done any other
I've done an independent special with Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice.
Called You Guys Are Dope. That was 2016.
Sweet.
But this is our first half hour special under the Presents.
On TV.
TV, yes.
Well, you could have
Under
watched Amazon Prime.
I'm
your
in the
special.
Comedy Central alumni. Which
You're
is dope.
finally let in.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You know, it's
I'm in the Ivy League.
Yeah, definitely. So his Comedy Central half hour airs tomorrow, Friday, November 8th. Set your DVRs now or whenever you're near them. I think you can do it from your phone. So as soon as you can, make sure to introduce yourself to Nore Davis tomorrow night on Comedy Central.
Get the app.
Or get the app,
Yeah.
watch clips. I'm sure there's a teaser clip right now.
Yeah.
Very exciting. He's been around a while. He is a hilarious comedian. You have been. This is, I think they give a lot of half hours to people who maybe it's their first thing, but you're legit.
Yeah, been doing it for 12 years.
Yeah,
12
you've
years.
been doing that's a
I'm
long
out
time.
Here. Yeah. I'm
Yep.
out here.
Get involved. Nore Davis, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And this next guy has a new album out, which I love the name of. It's called Rage Against the Routine. It is on all streaming services. I'm sure it's already playing on Sirius a lot. And people are raving about it. Can't hear enough good things. Haven't heard it myself, but I'm looking forward to it. Welcome to the show, Mike Feeney.
Hey, thank you very much
Yeah,
for having me.
thanks
Ian,
for
I would
being
have liked
here.
if you would have clapped like you did for Nore when I
Yeah,
got
a little.
introduced, but
Wow,
yeah.
Wow.
Whip out that
I
whistle,
want your
man.
pity clap, but
You and Ian are friends, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're buds. My favorite part about the whistle is that you were holding it I like that you're just ready to go. It's like finger on the trigger, man.
Yes.
It is perfect
Yeah.
for you. It's absolutely perfect.
He's ready to go with that thing.
Uh-huh. Yes. I'm
It's-
not going to give it to you
okay.
because
I
I
have
know
a
you want
feeling.
it.
Oh my
I have
God.
a feeling it's
You're
Yeah.
gonna make me come?
Yes,
Oh.
I know. I know
Yeah.
you get off on withholding, so
I know.
I'm holding it back.
Jesus Christ. Oh. Mike Feeney, you and I have so many friends in common, I feel. And have we crossed paths before? I thought you were someone else the other night. That was wild.
That's when we crossed paths.
Yeah, that was the one time?
No, I mean, we've done shows at like Gotham where I've been like hosting and brought you up and stuff like that, but we never had an in-depth conversation like the one that you thought we had when we were at the stand.
That was one of those humiliating moments where I'm talking to him and his face is so familiar to me because obviously we've crossed paths, but also he looks identical to one of the producers that was on Dancing with the Stars who also does comedy, like dabbles in it.
Holy shit.
And I really like made a connection with that producer because one day he was producing a segment, like one of our practices. So every time we would practice with our partner, there would be one camera person and one producer. And one day we all like got really high because it was like at the beginning and there was no pressure yet, even though there was so much pressure. I was like, guys, we have to like work hard. And everyone's like, no, this is the easy part. But we all got high and like had such a bonding. It was one of the best times on Dancing with the Stars. And it was with the guy that looks exactly like you. So when I ran into you at the stand a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, it's you. And I was like, what are you doing? And you were very nice, like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah. And then pretty quickly I realized because of your enthusiasm, I was like, I don't know who you think I am, but I know I'm not him. You know?
Yeah. And you're like, I'm going to take this love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it before,
we did smoke
too.
weed.
I have weed. Should we go smoke weed?
Do you smoke weed?
Yes.
How often?
Daily, but nightly, I should say. I'm not a day smoker.
Oh, you're not a day smoker.
Yeah.
Okay. Nore, do you smoke weed?
Yeah, but just like for fun, but like
just like here and there?
Yeah, here and there.
It's not a daily thing for you?
I have to have something where I have nothing planned on the schedule.
Oh,
I'm one of
wow,
those
that's very
smokers.
responsible.
Yeah.
Do you drink?
Yeah, I do.
And
drink.
is that how often do you drink?
Like the last
Same?
month I took off. I did
Wow.
no hard liquor. Then 2 days ago I just did a whole thing of Hennessy. So I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
well,
back
the
there.
whole thing of Hennessy.
Well, like
What a way to come back.
Hennessy on the rocks. That's
Yeah.
how I came back. I took
Yeah.
off of Jameson and hard
Now, did
whiskey
you have
for a month.
what spurred the month off? Was it just sober October?
It was, you could say that, definitely diet and trying to like help with sickle cell anemia, you know what I'm saying? Trying to like I've been running around so hard and I don't want to give myself a crisis and a
You
pain.
have sickle cell anemia?
Yeah, exactly.
And so alcohol is only,
Yeah.
alcohol's never helped a disease,
It don't
by
help
the
a
way.
goddamn thing
Yeah.
at all.
It doesn't help anything.
Anything, yeah.
It literally helps nothing, and that's
Nothing
like
good
sugar.
happens at a bar past midnight, man.
well, I don't know about that. You
Even
can have fun
before
at a
midnight.
bar after if you're so. No,
That's
you
what my
can't. You
uncle
really
told me.
can't. You're not wrong, to be
Yeah.
honest. Ian doesn't drink. I don't drink, but it was.
All right.
It's You're absolutely right. I don't mind people who drink. I have nothing. I honestly like to hear about it and be like, what was it? What's it like? Tell me it.
Yeah.
What's
Tell me everything you've
Tell me
been
everything,
through.
Pa.
Where did you wake up?
Yeah, but it's
Whose
you're-
blood was it?
The thing is that that's what eventually got me to quit was reading this book that I get asked about all the time, but it's called The Easy Way to Stop Drinking. It's by this guy, Alan Carr. But what he does is essentially what you just said, which is nothing good comes of alcohol. And everyone, when you're able to take away a reason, because everyone has an excuse for everything that they want to do that's bad
Yeah.
for them or isn't good, and there literally is no benefit that comes from drinking. And so every chapter takes you through where it relaxes me. Actually, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Here's the facts behind that. So that excuse is gone.
That's
Bye
cool.
bye. Can't use that.
We always justify
It
it.
makes me more social. Actually, it doesn't. You're really not fun to be around. You're not as cool at
Yeah.
all. Look at anyone you've ever been around drunk. They get less interesting. Check that off.
Yeah.
It's all my friends drink. Well, all your friends drink because you drink with them and you all get drunk and you don't remember your good times. It's not real friendships. If you quit drinking, they'll remain your friends, and if you the good ones will last. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Ian, does
yeah.
this all check out for you?
This is ruining my life, by the way.
Yeah. I know, but you have the
Mike, do you
podcast
drink?
Irish Goodbye.
I drink.
Yeah,
I mean, like, no, I wouldn't say I have a decent moderation with it, I think. Like, last night.
You're always drinking.
No, that's not true.
Uh-huh.
I don't think so. I mean, last night I had a dirty martini at the stand, but then that
That's
was
so
it.
classy.
One drink.
Ooh,
Yeah.
He
Classy
drinks
James
like he's on
Bond
Sex in the
motherfucker.
City.
Oh, I can't
yeah.
curse.
That's his drinks. After a show, he posts a martini and it says post-show flow.
That
Okay,
is, it's
well,
if I'm on the
that's-
road. That's my post. It's my road drink,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Mike Feeney, it sounds like you're a guy that doesn't have a problem with drinking.
But
do you
is
black out?
gay.
No, I haven't blacked out in years.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not. I'm past. I've had so many hangovers. I'm like a suspicious drinker now. Like I have to do drink water. It's,
but what makes the hangover go away is if you just start drinking again.
Yeah, but that I never liked. I've never been able to bring myself to the morning drinking. It makes me because if once I throw up,
cool.
I'm throwing up the whole day. It ruins everything.
I completely agree with you. I never was someone who did the hair of the dog or whatever. But I really, it resonates with me that like I don't think that if I started drinking again, right when you said like I'm so scared of a hangover, I'm so suspicious of one.
Right.
I almost feel like it's, like I don't drink anymore. I'm not because I'm like if I have one, I'm gonna like my life's gonna end tomorrow, like Ian would. Because Ian, do you agree, Ian, that like if you had a drink, it would be a slippery slope.
I mean, yeah, I'll end up on a Greyhound bus drinking hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
The devil's champagne.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There it is. Hi-oh. Try to be
Yeah, the devil's champagne on Satan's limousine.
Right. Well, it wouldn't be that for me that quickly, and that would be me at like the age of 50 or 60 if I kept drinking.
That to me is hell. I'm so grateful that the second I put alcohol in my body, my life completely falls apart. But what is scarier to me is that I will do it once and I'll have an okay night and think I can keep doing it.
That's
And then that will put me in a cycle going, that mental thing of like, see, dude, you just couldn't handle it earlier because you were going through stuff. You can handle it now,
Right.
you know, and then I
Yeah,
wake up
dangerous.
curled like a
was
cat on a
drinking
welcome
before
mat in
stand-up,
Queens.
like a
drinking
step.
before stand-up.
Yeah, like I need to drink and so I can feel loose. And like
That's how I
I
am
think
with
it gives
cigarettes.
me confidence, but it doesn't. It just
Yeah.
makes me feel like I don't care if you don't laugh.
See,
You know, that's exactly it.
You
And that
know?
is such a good, that's one of the chapters of the book is that it gives me confidence. You know, what's it called? Liquid courage, they say.
Liquid
Now, the way he breaks that down, which I thought was pretty fascinating, was that it does not give you courage. Courage is actually a thing that, like a charge in you that makes you, it's facing fear. Now, what alcohol does is it makes you stupid. It retards you, and I'm using that word correctly, I
Correct.
believe.
Yeah.
It literally makes you retarded in your thinking. It makes you more and more like mentally handicapped.
Retarded.
Yeah.
As it were, we do.
Yes.
And I'm using that word delicately, or at least I'm trying to. So let me know if it offends you, and I'll try to be better about it.
Totally correct.
But
Check in with the
I'm just
cancel culture
trying to.
meter.
I'm just exactly. Can you
correct?
check the app? Am I canceled yet? Because I really need a break. I
You
would
did
love
not
to be
come up.
canceled.
You did not come up. You're clear.
Last night I was on stage and I said something like, "I'm just towing a line, dude. I am like, it's almost like I'm having like dessert with alcohol in it in terms of like canceling myself. Like I'm flirting
interesting.
with like dangerous stuff where if someone recorded me and put it out, I could be canceled. And I think it's because I need a goddamn break. Like I think I need a vacation, but I'm not thinking about the actual consequence of that, which is like I might never work again. Like why can't I just take a vacation? But getting back to what you were saying about the courage. So it just makes you stupider. So you're
What's
like
another word for stupid? Nikki.
Stop it.
Maybe something in like the past tense.
It makes So this like, oh, you know what? You know when people? Do you guys think that when you drink, the truth comes out, or do you? Because
And the sadness comes out.
But is it the truth?
And the truth is sad.
Okay,
it
so
lowers,
yes, you would say yes.
It lowers your inhibitions to put up your defense. It lowers your defenses. So you go like, oh, I want to have a serious conversation with Ian, but this isn't the right time or place. And after 5 drinks, you're like, it is the right time, which is not the smart thing to do,
Yes.
which can be perceived as confidence. But I also understand the drinking before going on stage thing. I, on the other hand, like can't do that. Like I have to go on stage sober. If I have, like, I don't like to go on stage stoned even because if I have one drink, I feel a little less sharp, and it kind of messes me up. But after the show,
That's
I'm
how I feel about
yeah.
food. I can't eat before I go on stage.
Why?
Because I feel like, because I move around a lot, and I feel like it's like
It
bouncing
slows you
around in
down.
my
It's
tummy.
like swimming.
Yeah.
It's like, so don't eat before you go in the ocean. You know, like because your body is working to digest almost immediately, so it's taking some of
and
your
I don't want to be like
energy.
gassy or bloated.
Yeah.
On stage.
Oh God, I'm burping on stage
know?
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know.
I
I
never
think-
think about that.
I think alcohol does bring that truth thing out because I don't like it. It turns me into a gossip queen. Like I'd be like, you know what? They don't like you, but I like you.
Yeah, and I'm like,
they all
what?
talk shit
They
about
don't
you,
like
but
me?
I think you're great.
I think you're brave
You're like,
to have
wait,
that
what?
haircut.
Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're the best.
Yes. And you know what, Nore? But I don't think that's the truth. How many times have you like regaled someone and been like so like enthusiastic, and you think the next like being like, I seriously love you.
Yeah.
Like we need to. Why don't we hang out? Like that whole thing, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, I actually like hate that person.
Yeah.
Like I really, I don't like them at all. It's almost like you say the opposite. Sometimes it's like I think the truth can come out, but oftentimes I remember the first time I drank, which I knew I had a problem because literally the first time I felt the wave of drunkenness come on. I remember I was in the car with my friends. I think one of them was driving, probably drunk.
Hell yeah.
And it was high school, parents out of town, and I felt getting drunk. And it was the first time I was a junior, and I remember I said, I had to stop everyone and be like, why don't we do this all the time?
Yeah.
I don't understand why everyone doesn't do this all the why would you not want to feel this way all of the time? And that's an alcoholic.
Yeah. The first time I got drunk, I finally had the balls to fight my stepdad.
Yes.
You know?
Did you really?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Oh, tell me about that.
It was New Year's Eve, and my friends were like, let's get Ian drunk for his birthday. So I did like Jello shots. And I went home and I fell out of my mom's truck and then didn't know how to like really throw a punch, so I just threw myself at him like a spider monkey
Off the top rope.
You were a fist.
Get out of here, Jim!
But give me a hug.
Yeah. I think I wanted
just
to be
wanted to
held,
touch
but
a
didn't know
man.
how to say it, you know? Like,
you just that's so true.
Yeah, then I woke up the next day, it was just like a nightmare.
What's some dumb stuff you guys have done drunk where you just go, oh, I have a problem?
Oh man.
I mean, my friends, while you think, my friends would just like, well, I remember one instance where I go, it was late in my drink. It was probably right before I was living at home in St. Louis for a year and a half between going to LA and New York. I'd gone to LA right out of college, was on Last Comic Standing, thought I was going to make it. Everything's great. Did the open mic scene, so much fun. Drank, flirting with a DUI every single night of my goddamn life. Thankfully ran out of money, had to move back to St. Louis where I was living at home with my parents. And that year and a half I drank so much. And I think it got to the point one time my friend told me, a year after this had happened, but he was like, one night you just fucking shape-shifted. Like, it was like you went from being fun and like, hey, just sleep on the couch, hang out. We were just hanging out by my parents' pool all night. He was a good friend of mine. There was no like vibe or anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that, but I was just like, just let's hang out all night. You can sleep on the couch, drink. And then I went to the bathroom and he said, you came back and you were like, leave now. I need you to go. You can't stay. I'm sorry, Sean, go. And he had to sleep in his car in the front of my parents' house.
No.
And there was no reason for that, except that I think I wanted to like binge eat, so I needed him to get out. Like I had decided that I was like, I'm about to do something really gross and I need you to leave. But he said that you were so mean on the flip of a dime. I couldn't remember any of it. It made me so sad how mean I was to my friend. And I also saw like, I've seen that in my family members, and that's when drinking isn't fun with family, is when you see someone you love and who's supposed to protect you suddenly turn into a different person and you can't find the person they once were.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, you need to get a hold of yourself. That's why I asked you about why'd you take a month off? Like, what precipitated that?
Yeah.
Well, definitely my health and like that was my
but that
health.
makes
but
sense,
that makes sense. But like anything I did stupid, I think you guys are like all experts. I'm just like the stupidest thing I did was just throw up. Like
No,
after
that's
throwing
good.
up once, I was like, I'm never
Well, that's
drinking that much.
Right,
It was my
right.
best friend's wedding, and he had an open bar. So
I thought you went to see that movie.
Yeah, no.
That was my rock bottom.
Just
I
drinking
saw
champagne.
Julia Roberts' romantic comedy in theaters.
That is a movie. You're right. Wow, I didn't
So
see that.
good.
Yeah, you're sharp, Nikki. Sharp.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, best
Just
friend's
touch 'em
wedding, open
and squeeze
bar.
'em.
Yeah, open
And
bar.
this was so I was like in my 20s, so this is Long Island iced tea era.
Well,
this
the
is
good
Long Island
news
iced tea
is
Nore.
your best friend was probably in his 20s, so he'll get married again.
Yeah, no,
Why are you getting married in your 20s? No offense to Mike Feeney.
It was late,
So I had-
Okay, good.
I had probably like five to six Long Island iced teas just chuck. And then I remember
dude.
towards the end of the night, like the floor starts moving on
Yeah.
you, and
Turns into a wave
my
pool.
mouth just started getting watery. I'm like, what's happening to me? What's happening? What is this? I feel like I'm turning into a mutant. I run to the bathroom, just puke my guts out, and I come back out the bathroom. My boy was just like, "You want another Long Island?"
Yeah.
I was
what
like,
did you-
I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I
Did
was
you
just
keep
like,
drinking or
no,
were you just
no.
Yeah, because once you
I
get
don't
sick,
really-
I'm the same way.
Why?
What Mike
I-
said, like once you're sick, I don't want to keep
Yeah.
The hangover though was it for me in terms of when people ask me why'd you quit drinking. Above all reasons, the hangover.
Mine was throwing
I've
up.
always
Ooh,
said
the
it's like
movie?
you feel like you're dying. Like it's the worst I've ever felt in my life is a
Yeah.
hangover. Can't you? Don't you? I don't know
Yeah,
what
the
pains you guys-
hangovers. Yeah, I get like comically bad hangovers
Yes.
where I
Yeah.
can't move. I get like super sensitive. Like if I get like I get startled very easily, which
Yes.
makes me super nauseous. And then once I
That's why
start
you have
throwing
to drink
up,
and it goes away.
I know,
I know
but
you keep coming back. To
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
see that's
No.
Keep
like a
drinking
really
it away.
yeah.
What doesn't make sense to me is if you could drink all the time, why wouldn't you?
Agreed.
Because of the life spiral that it causes, I would assume is probably.
But it seems like you can handle it. So if you can handle
but
it,
I
do
can't,
it all the
but
time.
if I did it all the time, then I wouldn't be able to handle it.
See, this is the difference between an addiction to alcohol and not one. Why like for instance for me, I have like food addiction problems and it doesn't make sense to me when people can just like eat a good meal and they're like a little bit still hungry and they can just go, I'm good.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I eat until I am nauseous a lot of times, or if I don't, it's because I'm around mixed company and I have to like control
Right.
myself, and like how drinkers have to control their drinking when they're around
So
mixed
dumb.
company. So the same way you can't understand why he can just
Yeah.
stop is the same way I can't understand why you can't stop. You know, it's like
Yeah.
this. You just can't understand when someone has an addiction.
Like that hanger, like when. So I was like straight edge for a while, and that was like my identity of like Ian doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, but he's still fun, you know. And then after a while, it like really alienates you because everyone in your life is like drinking, you know.
Yeah.
So I started drinking alone. And that, because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want people to lose like respect for me. So I used to flip my jacket inside out and cover my book bag and put on a hood and go to the bar and order an Alabama Slammer because that was the only drink I knew from Wedding Singer.
Oh my god!
And so I would do that. And then like one time I went to the park and got weed from a guy that I don't think was weed. And I was drunk and his name was Tizza. And he invited me to his cookout in Harlem. And he's like, you know what? You go have fun. I was like, Tizza, you're such a good guy, man.
Yeah, making best friends.
And then I
with
went
guys
back.
named
I didn't
Tizza.
know how to roll a joint. So I put it in loose leaf paper with Scotch tape.
I've done
and
that.
I
I've
smoked
done
it. I smoked it. And then like I thought like, oh, you just put alcohol in a Gatorade bottle. So I dumped a whole thing of tequila in a Gatorade bottle. And then I thought I was going to die. And I wrote a goodbye letter that was like, well, this is it. You've done it now. If you're reading this, I'm gone. Know that I've loved you. And I just like threw up my brains and truly thought I was going to die.
I think you writing a
my-
letter thinking you're gonna die is because you smoked Scotch tape.
Yeah, that was the glue
Basic.
poisoning.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
You inhaled really toxic
loose leaf.
chemicals.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Oh, I've done it with loose leaf too. I mean, in terms
College
of like,
ruled.
Yeah, of course.
Loosely.
I mean, hey, listen, I was in college. It was a bad time. It certainly didn't rule.
Damn. Tip your waiter.
my drinking story that I was like, this is probably the most drunk I ever was in college, and I was playing tequila pong. So instead of beer, it was shots of tequila. And then I was in this loud house party. My buddy goes, "Can you go back to the dorms, which is like 3 blocks away? Let my friend who's coming up to stay just wants to put his bags in." So I leave, and like, I don't know if you guys remember when you're like super drunk and you leave like a loud place and then you go into like the silence of the night and then everything just like slows down, and I'm like, I was so drunk and I was like, I gotta run there to get there fast, but I'm like, running in like an ass and everything's all messed up. And then I got super sick and like hot mouthed and then was like, I'm gonna throw up, and I tried to like reason with myself like I can hold it, and then I threw up so much in between 2 cars on the way to the dorms, and then I saw like a woman like walking, like just a college girl like walking down the street, and like mid throw up I caught her with my eye, and there was a part of me that was like, I can still pull this out. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I got this. So as she's walking up, I just get done puking. But once you're done puking, you're tearing up, you're all red and everything.
Yes.
So I just like come up from between 2 cars, be like, hey, what's up? How are you? There's puke over there. That's weird. Like just pretended that I came upon the puke.
Yes, I've done that.
Just investigating this, and then she was like, "Get away," and ran. And then I had to. I sat on the
You
ground
were
for a
just
while.
checking out a puddle of puke. Bending over, just getting a good look at it.
What they ate.
Spitting on it just to mix it up. You were,
Exactly.
That wasn't
Diluting smoothing it so it would go down the drain.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's just a whole bunch of mess. Don't worry about that.
I'm a good citizen.
So I lay on the ground on the street for a while to break up this 3-block walk. I set up base camp, and then after a while, I remember and regain consciousness. I'm in a pizzeria, and I have 2 slices of chicken pizza and a side of ranch dressing in front of me.
Is that a sober decision you would make?
It's something I've never ordered in my entire life. So I go, what? I go, what? And I go, I don't know, but this looks amazing, and I'm drunk, so I'm going to start eating it. And as I'm eating it, I look up, and there's a girl sitting across from me who I don't know. And she's also absolutely blackout drunk, and she's like, "Where's Kyle?" She keeps asking me about Kyle, and I was like, I don't know who Kyle is, and I wanted to be like, "I'm sorry, I don't know Kyle," but instead I went, and then I just threw up in her face, like the dinosaur from Jurassic Park. It hit. I'll never forget. It hit her face and her pizza and her phone and her keys. It was like clear water that shot out of me, and
oh my God.
the scream that she let. I mean, she's screaming like in my opinion. Overreacting a little, and she's screaming.
She got the carried
She's
scream.
screaming like Newman in Jurassic Park.
She's like pulling at her face. So she starts screaming. I stand up, and I'm like, everybody's like, converging to being like, what the fuck's going on? And I bump into this guy, and I turn around, and that was the guy, Kyle, because Kyle looks at me and goes, "Did you just eat my pizza, dude?" So I just walked in.
He didn't even care about the puke.
That was just like some girl he was about to have sex with, I guess, or whatever.
Holy
I walked
shit.
in, saw his girlfriend and pizza, just sat down and was like, "This isn't my normal order, but I'll make it work," and then just ate it in front of. So now this guy's like, "Are you fucking? You threw up in my girl's face. You're eating my pizza," and he's like gonna kick my ass. And I panicked and just grabbed all my shit. I was like, "I'll go clean your stuff in the bathroom. I'm so sorry." I ran into the bathroom, and then I climbed out the window of the bathroom. Climbed out the window of the bathroom and ran back to the dorms, and then the guy is still waiting for me to let him in this whole time. It's been like an hour, and it's 3 blocks. It's a 3-block walk, and I walk up with the key card to let him in, and it wouldn't scan, and then I looked, and I didn't take my key card. I took Kyle credit card, which means that I left my student ID card with my face and my name on the pizza on the table where I just fled from the crime. And that was like my second week in college, and for the rest of college I slept with like a knife in bed with me waiting for him to come kill me.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I should keep drinking for a while. So I still drink.
That's wild.
That's insane, bro. What college is that? Where'd you go?
Iona College.
Iona. Oh, New Rochelle.
New Rock
Westchester
City,
boy.
baby.
I know, I'm Yonkers.
Where is it?
University
West
Phoenix
Coast.
Online.
It's like 30 minutes.
Keep interrupting him with fake college.
Right.
Trump University.
Arizona State.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks, because I was so proud of you for all the steps you had taken to get out of that, to climb out of the window was so smart. I was like so rooting for you. Your friend is still there waiting for you. Everything's lining up.
Yep.
You had this whole thing, and then you had his that is so you never ran into Kyle.
Never ran into him, but it's literally, it was like every waking moment I was terrified that I was going to bump into him, because he had access to my dorm room, like my actual room, if he wanted to. And I don't know whatever ended up happening to the woman. I'm so sorry. If that woman I threw up in her face, if she's listening, I apologize.
Well, she remembers. She definitely remembers.
She definitely remembers.
She's telling that story all the time. I hope she is.
Imagine her side of it. Like a guy just walked in, sat across from me, ate my boyfriend's pizza, threw up in my face, and climbed out the window.
I hope girls, either she tells everyone or she's told no one. Because that was probably a bottom for that. You might have made her hit a bottom.
Or maybe quit drinking forever. She's like, I'm never gonna end up
never
here
help
again.
do that again.
You helped her. She's a nun.
I'm
now.
a hero.
You are a hero. That is so hilarious. Jesus Christ, Ian. Because I was watching Ian watch you in the beginning, telling your story, and I'm like, Ian, this was that was a Tuesday for you. What those kind of things. But that story was incredible. Do you have any stories like that end? I mean, yours all ended in prison.
Jovial and fun and waka waka, and then mine's you went to jail, laka laka.
That was good, man.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
my stories just end in like massive sadness.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, like,
Yeah.
But I would try to play them off as fun. Like,
Yes.
someone would be like, "Oh my God, I got so drunk last night. I gave my number to the janitor." And I was like, "Oh, that's so funny. I woke up in a pile of trash." What?
God.
Why are you? What's the matter with you?
I
gave myself the nickname Alleyway.
Alleyway.
Because I went to a place called Deepy Dough in Newark, at University of Delaware, and where I incrementally got kicked out of and blacklisted from every bar down this one block. And I went to Deepy Dough, and I was like, "Where's the bathroom?" And the woman goes, "We don't have one. You have to use the alleyway." And I go, "Alleyway, that's what they call me in college." And then I immediately threw up everywhere. So I gave myself the nickname Alleyway. Like, that was
Alleyway
cool.
sounds like your alter ego, like Asian stand-up comedian.
Alleyway. Alleyway. Alleyway.
I'm not pregnant. It's a
got
beer
Netflix
belly.
special.
It's a beer belly.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
called
God.
myself Alleyway, and everyone called me the liability.
Oh my
That was
God.
my nickname.
Yeah, yeah. I
man.
just, you know what I'll miss about drinking, and I always will, is just if it wasn't for the hangover, I probably would have kept drinking and made bad decisions. My career wouldn't be as good. All those things. I don't think I'd be dead. Like, I don't think I'd be in prison or anything because there's Uber now. But you know, in terms of like getting a DUI, but I just miss being able to hook up easier. That's just, I'll always miss it for the rest of my life. So if you're out there and you still drink, and you're probably going to quit at some point because it does ruin lives and it's a progressive disease, and if you don't have a problem with it now, you could down the road. You will quit someday if you get your life together, but just enjoy. It's true.
right.
It's true.
Do you have to make direct eye contact
right.
with me when you say that?
I was trying to look down at my paper,
Yeah.
but you know who I was really
Yeah,
looking
right.
at, Mike Feeney. I know it's your identity with your little martini. I know it's part of who you are, but you're more than that, and you don't need it.
Okay.
Throwing up in women's faces
But
and
it's
shit.
true. And I'm not saying this about you at all because you don't seem to have a problem. But if your identity is drinking, you might have a problem. If your thing is like, I can't give it up because I'm a whiskey guy. Shut
stinks.
up. You're white and you have no identity and you're looking for one in food and beverage that everyone enjoys. Like, guys that are like, I love tacos. It's like,
There's
we all
nothing
do.
worse than an IPA guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like a craft beer fucking
Stop it.
loser.
Aficionado.
Yeah.
Just say you like getting fucked up. That's what you like to do
Yeah.
too. You don't
Yeah.
like whiskey. It doesn't taste good. No, you wouldn't feed a baby whiskey and be like, baby, this is a great tasting whiskey. Like, if you wouldn't feed your child something
Well,
for
Canadian
the taste
Club
of it.
tasted great.
What?
Canadian Club whiskey?
No, it didn't. No,
Bottom
none of
shelf?
it tastes. But
Yeah.
I do miss.
Because I could
Bottom
taste
shelf.
the bad
But
decisions coming.
in closing, what I was going to say is that just if you still drink right now, enjoy having the sex that you're having because it won't be the same if you quit drinking. It's so easy to hook up.
Well, I
when you
used to
drink.
get drunk and in Philly go to the Wishy Washy.
Well,
I
I'm
feel
going to
like
Philly
you're
this
making
weekend.
Is that a
venues.
laundromat?
No, it's a rub and tug. Where you pay
oh.
for them to massage you and jerk you off. And one time I came out of a strip club in the cab. I go, Wishy Washy! Take me to Wishy Washy!
Wishy-washy is another
and then-
Asian
and then-
character you're working
Oh,
at.
God.
I
Yeah.
have to
swear to
go.
God,
I
I swear
have
to
to go to
God.
break.
The cab driver goes, no, if you're so horny, just go home, jerk off.
Oh my God.
I got nothing. What are
y'all
they going to
wild.
cancel? My mustache? Give
I'm
me a
going to get
break.
canceled after that. Thank you so much for watching that clip that you just watched. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. If you did, thumbs up it. Why don't you subscribe? Why don't you just keep watching more videos? Let them play. Share with your friends. Go share on your Instagram story. Go just have a great day.